Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, old Captain here, and this is an interesting one. It's going to be very helpful to both people, men and women. I think men a little bit more, because we ideally like to have justice and fairness and meritocracy, and if we've ever been wronged, we desperately want revenge and want those people to die. Not that women don't. Women, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe women do, like, well, I want that fucker to die, or have someone get their comeuppance. And that's the concept of karma. And what triggered this was two things. I had a client who was wronged by an ex-girlfriend of his. I won't go into the details, but he was definitely wronged. There was no gray area here. And his basic question was, well, should I let it go or should I get my revenge? And it just grinded at him, just gnawed him and pissed him off that this girl was going to get away with hurting him, harming him, transgressing him, whatever, and that there'd be no justice. And I said, okay, yeah, is it worth your time to go and get your own justice? Typically not, depends on the situation. But another thing, and what I told him, though, was that usually people like that get what they deserve. And the reason why is that type of behavior, that wrong, unacceptable behavior, is not tolerated very long in society. So it wasn't... It didn't give him the revenge he wanted. It doesn't give us the revenge we want, letting people go. We still would like to think that there'd be some kind of karma. And then when you say karma, it's out of our control, and now these fuckers get away for it. So people are saying, gosh, you know, I really, really would like there to be justice, and you think justice isn't going to happen if it's left to the fates, and you desperately want to believe in something like karma. But let's be honest, most of us here are a little bit pessimistic and realistic. It's like that shit never happens. It never. I wish there was poetic justice. We wish, like in economics, there was always balance. We wish, like in psychology, there was always balance. We wish that in like physics, there would always be balance, and that the bad people would get punished and the good people would get rewarded. However, the second thing that happened, another buddy of mine, he had a run-in with. I'm trying to anonymize this as much. He had a run-in with thugs. And he's also very well trained, and he basically, he beat him up a little bit, but he was outnumbered, so he had to leave. We'll just leave it at that. And then he comes to find out later on that one of these thugs got stabbed, not by him, but he got into a brawl and got into a fight, and now the guy's in the hospital in critical condition. So this is not so much karma. It is. This guy did have his comeuppance. What goes around comes around. But it's more important to understand how that works and to know there is no guarantee, but it's damn well near guaranteed that people that violate against you are going to get those in the end, because there is karma, but it's not by any god or deity or entity or judge, an omnipresent, all-powerful judge that makes people pay, or life somehow consciously makes them pay. It's their own damn doing, and here's why. Wrong behavior is not tolerated. Bad behavior is not tolerated. You could get away with it for a while, maybe once or twice, but inevitably you will pay a price, either by going to jail, getting stabbed, or more so, someone does you wrong, but it's not illegal. You'd like to get back at them, but there's no way to, not legally anyway. But they will get their comeuppance. There is karma through ostracization, and society simply not tolerating bad behavior. They will reject these people. And what will happen in the long run is these people will end up becoming bad people. They'll end up hanging out with a bad element. Because sooner, this isn't to say Bernie Madoff didn't make off with a couple billion and lived a very luxurious life. He got caught in the end. But this is more, what type of lives are these people going to live? What kind of people are going to be in their lives? And consequently, what quality of life can they expect to live given the running around with a lower, immoral, evil, hurtful element? And so we saw the example of the guy getting stabbed. Bernie Madoff went to jail. But in the case of this client I had, and for everybody else's case, he wanted to know if there was something he could do to get back at his girlfriend. I said, you know what? let her be. Let her think that behavior is acceptable, because that is going to cause her more damage in the long run, because no one tells her. I mean, look at these. Here's a perfect example of karma that we're all kind of familiar with. The hot girl who ages and hits the wall and all of a sudden is not hot anymore. Can you think of a more punishing hurtful, just crushing punishment than being the hottest girl ever in the United States, having all the world's resources thrown at you, while consequently having nobody tell you you're wrong, leading you to believe that you are better than you actually are, you're arrogant, you're cocky, because society allows you to be. You can be. Unchecked, you will become an asshole. You will be, in this case, a bitch. Well, everybody wants to quote Bill Burr, nobody corrects them because they want to fuck them, and so they live in this shielded bubble forever, typically hurting people along the way, typically men stringing them along, standing them up, drama, psychological problems, bullshit, divorce, whatever. Well, then when that beauty goes away, guess what? Well, that's when the punishment comes in. This person's behavior, attitude, is so wrong, horrible, unacceptable, but once what is protecting her and allowed her to have that kind of behavior, to get away with it, is gone, she will run right into the wall head first and at a high speed, and her life is ruined. They typically have no finances, they don't know how to work, and whereas, the first 10 years of their life they're kids, but let's say from 14 or puberty on, that 20-year period or whatever, the first third of their life is really good, but then the last 2/3 after they're older, at least the last half, is confused misery. They have no idea why the world is not bending to their will anymore, because they never developed it, and no one told them any better. No one said no. No one said, here's where you're wrong. So when people do bad things to you, when there is karma, evil people, when there are people that lie, cheat, steal, try and ruin you, or malicious, or whatever, what you gotta do is say, okay, is it worth me going after them? Is it worth me wasting my time either in a court, physically fighting, even my energy to yell and put this person in their place, or should I just let him go? I mean, there was this bully, and man, he was probably the meanest bully in the entire school, and he's dead. He's dead. He would pick on little guys. He'd pick on little, like me, and he was a big guy, so everybody was little at him. So this guy would pick on pretty much anybody except the jocks and the weight and the wrestlers. But man, did he like torturing anyone smaller than him? Well, I think something must have happened where he picked on the wrong guy, and there was a knife or a gun, and he didn't make it out on that one. And this guy died in 1997. It was great finding his not eulogy, but his death records of the obit. It was like, he's dead! So my point is that karma does exist, but it is through society and people simply not tolerating the behaviors of others, simply ostracizing and removing themselves from these people's lives, having nothing to do with them. So nobody of quality anyways marries these people, hires these people, do business with these people, court, no human interaction whatsoever. And then if they keep going, the only people that will interact with them are the ones that are going to be just as hurtful, just as rejected, just as evil, just as backstabbing, and just as dangerous. So usually it's not, unless it's like someone killed your wife or something. Oh yeah, then you hunt them down. If someone kills your kid, you fuck the law. Really, the law. Screw the law. They better find that fucker and put him to death, because if not, you better. So there's things like that. Yes, absolutely. But the bullies in school, the dickhead boss that make douchebag moves, pretty much everyone and anyone you run into that is dishonest, deceitful, has somehow caused you harm, they kind of are almost guaranteed by a universal force, not a conscious force of karma, but a universal judgment of their peers in society. They will get their comeuppance, and so by default there actually is karma. The trick is for you to realize that, let society punish them, take it easy, don't ruin your life over theirs, but then also let go of the anger and hatred and rage. And it's not, I know it sounds so fucking cheesy, and it's the bullshit lie your parents told you where, they'll get theirs in the end. You just keep getting beat up, and no, we won't buy you clothes so people won't beat you up anymore. It's like, that never helped. But I'm telling you, not for the reason, your parents told you and they kind of mumbled under their breath, boy, I hope that guy does, because I don't think it will happen. But it does. It absolutely does, because nobody likes these people. Their behavior, their mentality, their psychology is aberrant and not acceptable to society, and since it isn't, it'll be ostracized and alienated, and they will get theirs in the end. So don't ruin your life over stupid people. That's how simple it is. Best of luck to all of you. Toodles.